Morning. It's July the 14th, and I wanted to do an updated video on these giant Marconi pepper plants we have here, planted up against our house. This is the first year we've planted any peppers here. We had blackberry plants planted here years ago, and then we took them out because they didn't do well here for whatever the reason. And now we've put these giant Marconis in here, and last year I marked where we were going to plant them, and I amended the soil heavy. We've got a video on the channel of all the things we used in the soil. And then yesterday I went to our local municipality and got some composted leaves, and I spread them out as a mulch. And on top of the ground there, we had about 6 inches of grass clippings. We don't treat our lawn with pesticides and herbicides, so I bag our backyard grass and I lay it down as a mulch, and it seems to work great. And then I covered it with these composted leaves. See that? But these peppers are really starting to put on at the bottoms of the plants, and we're getting quite a few blooms at the top of the plant. I'll give you some scale on this. These little peppers over here are sitting around. This one right here, that's probably one of the longest on this plant. Let me move the leaf there. So that's probably about a 8 or 9 inch pepper, long wise. Here's another shot of the plant reaching above the cage. So they're probably getting close to, I'd say getting close to 3.5, 4 foot tall. But look at this pepper here. It takes my whole hand to spread out to get around the top of this guy. And it's probably about 8 inches long. Look how wide that thing is. These are seeds we saved from our largest pepper we grew about 3 years ago in a different location. That plant reached 7 feet tall. We didn't think they would do as well here, being the first time we planted these guys here. Look at that. And it's got really nice peppers here. You can see them changing colors. We're getting a little bit of red. They'll go from a dark green to some purple looking color, and you can start seeing the hints of red in this pepper. So it's about to change colors, and you'll know when these guys are ripe when they're a beautiful red color. You can eat them green. You can pull them off just like this and eat them. They eat just like a bell pepper. But we get the better flavor out of them if you let them get to where they're fully red ripe. And now they're growing so long on the bottom, I have to lay sticks down because they want to grow and lay on the soil. And you don't want that. Don't let your peppers lay on the ground because it'll start rotting and your bugs will get to them. Here's another one. It's probably getting up there about 3.5, 4 foot tall. Starting to put blooms on at the top now, which is how we'd prefer it. But, you know, the Lord works in mysterious ways. So, all the peppers this year at this location, they started putting them on heavy at the bottom of the plant. And even this one in the container, we're starting to get blooms on the top of the plant. I'll have to get in here and get this fastened to this little trellis, but you can see them down in there. And then we have one more over here. Excuse me. This plant is probably, let me step up here, it's probably 3 foot tall. We're starting to get blooms and little peppers up here at the top. This is what you want to see. This is how we like it, because then we don't have to worry about them growing down and touching the ground. But when these peppers get tall enough above your cages and get heavy weighted peppers on them, we found that it's easy to snap your peppers off or the limbs off when the high winds come. Okay, and here's a cluster of 3 peppers on the bottom, and you can see it's got a chocolate color there, and now it's getting the red in it. So within a few more weeks, this thing ought to be turning nice and red. By the end of the month, it should be really nice and red. And this is a pretty long pepper here for it being at the bottom of the plant. And I put a tape measure. You can see I put it to the top of the pepper there. Run the tape measure down. And this pepper's sitting at 9 inches long. And there's another big guy in here. So just to show you that these are old seeds saved from our giant Marconi pepper. Let me move this tape measure out of the way. And the seeds were, I think, over 2 years old, and they're still producing nice pepper plants. So if you grow this variety pepper and you have you some really extremely large peppers, save your seeds out of them. That's what we do. And that's what we end up with. And there they are growing up against the house. Thanks for watching.